I was working on for a long time. Certainly do not remember how to do that at this point. So fun. Y'all, I have some good news and I have some bad news. This little ball is all I have left. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Isn't that just so pretty? Oh my goodness, look at that. Here's the cardigan. Hey y'all, it's Tara from yokieB.com. Welcome to episode 7 of my knitting and crochet podcast. Whew, I feel like there's fuzzies flying everywhere. Today I have a few fun finished projects to share with you, and then I also have made some progress on my whips. I've also started some new whips, so let's go ahead and get started. First up, I have a Musselburgh. This is the one that was a work in progress on my last podcast. I made this for my daughter. It is made with Hobby Lobby hand-dyed yarn. If you've been watching my videos for a little while, you'll know I love this pattern. I first saw it on, I think, a Nitty Natty podcast, and it's just a great basic beanie pattern. I originally was going to use this yarn for a sweater for my daughter, but I didn't quite have enough for the sweater that I was going to make, and so I decided to go ahead and make her a beanie. She really wanted one of these Musselburghs, and so I went ahead and made this one for her, and I do love the colors of this. I think this colorway is called Candy Coated. I'm not sure if it's still available. I got it a few years ago at Hobby Lobby, so I'm not sure if it's still available, but I really love the little speckles in it, and I love just this like light pink color with the blue. But I'm not a huge fan of these stripes. I mean, I think they're fine. I love stripes, but I'm not sure what it is. I think that in my mind, I wanted it to be a little more random, or that's what I had in mind for this beanie. Like this part right here, I love like this little random kind of striping at the beginning. I really love that. I just didn't love how the stripes turned out, but I think my daughter loves it, and that's what matters because it's for her. So I'm excited for her to have a new beanie for this winter. I really like having one of these beanies on my needles at all times. I have another one that I'm going to show you guys that I've already started, and it's just a great project once you get past this crown part here, which is not hard at all. It just takes more concentration than just knitting in the round. But once you get past this crown part, it's just such a great project to pick up at any time and just do a few rows on if you don't have much time, or if you're just super tired and you just want to do a little bit of knitting but don't have any brain power left. It's just a great project for that. So I like having one on my needles all the time. They can take a little while just because it's really long, because it's a double fabric, which makes it very warm and cozy. It's just a nice long time to work on knitting in the round, just stockinette in the round. So I do love having one of these projects on my needles at all times. I haven't wet blocked this. I'm going to wet block it. I've only steam blocked it. It kind of reminds me of like some socks or something when you see it like this, just with all the stripes. But I really do love the colors. I just don't love quite how uniform the stripes are. I think I just wanted them to be a little bit more random. I made this one in an adult medium. My daughter wears basically just adult sizes, and that's the size that I make for myself as well, as the adult medium, and it seems to work really well. So I started it on February 16th, and then I finished it on the 23rd of July. So it took me a little bit longer to get this one done. I really think just because I wasn't super excited about it because of the way the stripes were. You know how sometimes it takes you longer to get a project done if you're not feeling super excited about it, but I am glad to have this one done. So that is the first Musselburgh that I have to share with you guys, and the second one is this little baby Musselburgh. Oh my goodness, you guys, look at this little thing. It's so cute. Now this one I have wet blocked, and this one worked up so quickly. At first I thought I used 4mm needles, but I think I used 3.5. But even with that, this is a worsted weight yarn. I used some Lucky brand cotton wool heather that I had left over from a little baby cardigan that I made, and I was so excited to make another baby gift with that same yarn. I just think it's really nice yarn. It's a cotton wool blend, super easy to take care of. And so I went ahead and made this little tiny Musselburgh. I was excited to make a little baby version. And I have wet blocked this one, so it's all ready to go. I've just gotta package it up and send it off to the little baby recipient. But that is my second finished project, another Musselburgh, a little baby one. And that is good to know too, that if you need a Musselburgh quickly, you can always get a worsted weight yarn and a larger needle and just whip through this thing really quick. I started on the 7th of August and I finished on the 12th. So it took me like no time at all. You know, it's always fun to have those projects that you can just kind of whip out really quickly, and it just feels good to have those in addition to the other projects that take longer. Next on my list of finished projects is my Tove sweater. Y'all, I'm so excited to have this thing finished. This I was working on for a long time. I believe I started it in January. Yeah, I started it in January of this year, and I just finished it on the 9th of August. So I am super happy to have it finished. I took a long break from it just because I was working on some other things. We moved in the middle of all of that. Like, we moved in February, so it was just kind of of crazy, but it really is a super fast project. It whips up quickly. It's an easy project. All in all, I'm so happy with it. This is a pattern by Gregoria Fibers, and it's on Ravelry. I'll be sure to link all the patterns down below that I mentioned that I can. It's a really great pattern. Like, it's easy to follow. It's pretty straightforward. Honestly, I did learn some new things with this though. I learned the tubular cast on, so that was something that I had never done before and really wanted to try because I just love trying new things. And so that was something that I ended up trying, and I think it turned out pretty good. Although it's so funny because I certainly do not remember how to do that at this point, so I'm gonna have to refresh my memory on that. I made the size extra small in this sweater. No, extra small. I made an extra small in this sweater, which I think is size 1, and I never make that size. Like, usually I'm gonna make a medium. A medium is my go-to usually. However, I was afraid that I would not have enough yarn for this sweater. I only purchased 7 skeins because I used this vintage yarn. So I used this yarn right here, and I was so excited. I was shopping with my mom. You may have already heard me tell this story, but I was shopping with my mom at a flea market in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We found this booth that had all vintage yarn. So it had vintage, like Lily Sugar and Cream. It had, I wish I still had the video footage from that. I don't think I have all of it. I'll put my little short here that shows all the different yarns, but they had so many cool yarns. I really wanted to purchase more, but I didn't want to go crazy because I wasn't sure, you know, with vintage yarns, especially with wool and things like that, you're kind of running the risk of there possibly being some bugs or some damage from bugs. And so I decided to just go with this one. Everything looked really good, and this is all I have left over of the yarn. It's this really pretty sparkle twist kind of yarn. It does have wool in it, and it is an Aran weight. It has wool, polyamide, acrylic, viscose, and polyester. So it has several different things, but it just has these little sparkles in it that are so cute and so pretty, and I was really excited. They had this color and I think like a blue, but I decided to buy every skein that they had, or every donut that they had of this color. And I don't think it has a color name. Color number 3 is all it says. But I was able to put it in my project notes on Ravelry because they do actually have this yarn listed in there, which I thought was pretty cool. So I put in even the lot number, I think is what I did. Going back to the size, the only reason why I made an extra small is because, for one, I was afraid I would run out of yarn, and then for 2, it's recommended to be worn with like 13 inches of positive ease, and so I knew that it would have a lot of positive ease, and I was hoping that that would all work out in the end, because normally I like a really oversized fit, and I was a little bit nervous, but I thought, well, I still want to make this sweater. I think this yarn's going to look really good in this particular pattern, and so I just decided to go for it, and I really think it turned out really good. It's still an oversized fit. It's maybe a little more cropped than the picture. Overall, I kept everything the same except for, I think I picked up 4 extra stitches on the neckline, and then just did even decreases to get back to the pattern number for the stitch count. I felt like there would be kind of some bigger gaps if I didn't do that, so I just decreased evenly to get the stitch count back to where it needed to be. I did originally think, because the pattern calls for you to work your neckline and then bind off all your stitches and then sew it together, and I thought that maybe I could just connect it as well as knit it, just like a double brim beanie or something. But I started to do that, and it seemed like it was kind of causing the stitches to not line up correctly. So I decided to just go back and do it how they called for, which is to bind off all your stitches and then seam the neckline to the sweater, the fold over. So it is like a double little neckline here, which I love. The neckline and the cuffs of the sleeve are worked in a twisted rib, which always looks really nice. And it's so funny. I'm not the kind of person that, like, I don't like to purl and I only like to knit. Like, I enjoy all of it. But something about a twisted rib, I don't know if it's because I'm just used to doing a regular rib or what it is, but for some reason I get frustrated when I have to do a twisted rib, even though I think it looks really nice and I will do it for sure. But for some reason I don't enjoy a twisted rib as much as a regular rib. The outcome is really nice, so it's worth it. It's got this really cool saddle seam on the shoulders, if you can see right there. I think it looks really nice, and also it's really sturdy for the shoulders because this pattern is so drapey with the fisherman's rib and then like the balloon likeness with the, you know, tighter cuffs and then the tighter bottom. I think that it really helps it lay well, and so it doesn't pull too much. I think it gives it like a sturdier look, plus it gives it just a really unique look too, and I think it's really polished and nice. So that was fun to learn. It does call for, y'all, this end that I need to weave in, so please excuse that. I have even blocked this, but apparently I missed that one. I especially wanted to wet block it because, you know, this is some old yarn, so there's no telling how much dust and things it had in it, so I definitely wet blocked it. The pattern does call for double pointed needles for this saddle seam on the shoulders, but I do not know where my double pointed needles are at this point, and so what I ended up doing was using some interchangeable needles and then like some separate needles, and it all worked out. It did get a little confusing at times, but it all worked out and I was able to get it done. And it just shows that you can use what you have on hand if you need to. And overall, I'm super happy with this sweater. I will put it on for you guys so you can kind of see it. So here is my taupe sweater on, y'all. I just love it. I just think it is so cozy and just, I really love it. It's a really fun sweater, and honestly this yarn is itchy, but it's not so itchy that it's unbearable, so it's certainly worth it to me, and especially because it's vintage. I just think that that's so fun. It's just like a fun holiday sweater, New Year's sweater. It's just kind of a fun like Christmas sweater. Got that kind of sparkly festive vibe. I'm so excited to have finally finished it. It ended up taking me, like I said, 7 months to finish it just because I had put it down for so long, and then I had to remember where I was in the pattern. So I think I talked about this in my last podcast and I wasn't sure where I was supposed to start with it, but once I got back into it, I noticed that I did finish at like a good spot. So thankfully that all worked out, and then I was just able to start the next portion of the pattern. So very excited to have this one finished. That is the taupe sweater. So now let's move on to the whips. Y'all, I have some good news and I have some bad news. Good news is I have made some progress on my autumn Jacquard cardigan. If you are new here, welcome. First of all, thank you for tuning in. I have been working on this sweater for at least 2 years, I think, and I've picked it up, I've put it down, I've frogged it, but I've never gotten this far in it. So yay, that is progress, and I will take that. I don't know if it's called autumn Jacquard cardigan. I think it is, but it also says vivid here, so I'm not sure if that's the name. I don't know, but this is the one I'm making, and this is the vintage book Glorious Crochet Sweaters. I think it was made in like the 80s, I'm pretty sure, because it's got some glorious 80s photos in here. Let's see. Yes, 1989. So a great 80s book. There have been some challenges in reading the patterns and the graphs, but all in all, there are just so many cute patterns in here, and I really want to make some more of them. I'm hoping that maybe after making this one, I will kind of have an idea of the pattern language and just be a little more used to how they wrote these patterns so that it'll go a little more smoothly next time. But this is definitely the farthest I've gotten. I got to the point where I just fasten off here on the body, and it's going to be really great because once I'm done with the sleeves and I start putting it all together, it's nice because it's not like you have to make separate panels. It's just going to be like already done, so that part is nice. But I did make it a little bit farther up here and finished up until the yoke part. So I haven't done the yoke part, but I've just done a little bit of the shaping here for the sleeve and the yoke. Of course, I've got lots of ends to weave in. Then this is how far I've gotten on the sleeve. I'm almost to the same point on the sleeve. I just need to do a couple more rows to get to the same spot as here before I start putting them all together. So I've got one sleeve almost finished, but y'all, I have run out of the orange. So I used Drops Alpaca Silk, brushed alpaca silk for the main part, this orange color here, and I held 2 strands together. I bought this from Wool Warehouse, and I didn't buy it specifically for this pattern, but I had it on hand, and I also had these right here, which are Drops Melody. I think this is Petrol, light sea green, and then I'm not sure what this mustard color is, and I don't think they carry it anymore. But I had all of these from the first time I purchased anything from Drops. I was so excited. I had seen on the YouTube, Kudo Vikika, she talked about this yarn, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's such a good price. I've got to get some of that. And so that was my first purchase, and this was years ago. Like, I bought this at least maybe 4 years ago, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. But these are the colors I purchased in the Melody, and then I got the brushed alpaca silk in this orange, which I think is called Pale Rust. But I went to purchase some more of this, and it is out of stock right now. I really hope that they get more of this, because if they do not, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I think it's pretty distinct, so I don't know that I'll be able to find anything that's close enough. And oh my goodness, you guys, if I have to frog this thing, or I don't even think I would frog it. I think I would just have to be done with it and just call it a loss, because it takes so long to frog, because this particular yarn is so fuzzy, and which is wonderful, but then to frog it, it is not fun. I did at one of the times that I frogged something, I just was like, no, I'm just cutting it. I'm not even frogging this at this point. So I'm really excited to finish this. I am also really excited to be finished. I'm ready to be finished. I mean, if I wasn't excited about this sweater, I would not have the motivation to finish, but I am very excited about this sweater, and I also don't want to give up. I want to conquer this thing. So we'll see. We will see what happens, but I also was having issues with ordering the yarn. I was afraid they might not ship to Alaska, and so I'm gonna have to contact customer service and see about that. I mean, I really think that the yarn will be back in stock. I really hope it will be back in stock. You know, sometimes those colors, they do not come back, and I just don't think there's any way to kind of make this funky and like do one sleeve one color and the other sleeve another color. I don't know. I love funky details, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily work the way that you would want it to. So we will see. So that is the good news and bad news. I have made progress. I'm getting somewhere, hopefully. I kind of knew I was gonna run out of yarn, and I should have purchased it a while ago, but I didn't. So that's where we're at right now with that. But I'll keep you guys posted. This little ball is all I have left, this tiny little ball. So we'll see. My next whip is something that is still a whip. I have not filmed the video yet for the felting part of it. That is my Flow State Cardi from the Knit Collage Knit Along. I'm so excited to finish this one. I just haven't had a chance to film it, or I've had so much other stuff going on and other projects and things that I haven't had a chance to work on that. But if I get any part of that filmed, I will put a few clips in here. This pattern is by Amy Small, and I did make a size 2, which is my normal Knit Collage size that I choose. This worked up really quickly, and I used 5mm needles, and also which I did mention this in my last podcast, and I'll talk about it more when I finish the sweater, but I used helical knitting for the first time, and so it was a really cool thing. I was excited to learn that because this yarn is hand dyed and then also hand spun. There's a lot of variation in it, and so the helical knitting just really helped it look a little more uniform along the way. But look at that, y'all. Isn't that just so pretty? I absolutely love the colors of this. These are probably like my favorite colors. I don't know, it's hard to say. I have so many favorite colors, but this is the Knit Collage Moondrake collaboration. This is Spun Cloud Light. I think Ultraviolet Unicorn is the name of this colorway, but it is just so beautiful, and I was just so excited to be able to pick some up and make this Flow State Cardi in it. I did end up purchasing some buttons at Changing Tides, which is our yarn / fabric store that has buttons too. So I purchased these little buttons, but they are so cute. They're little flowers. They're a little small, but I just wanted to use them so badly that I was like, I'm gonna make these things work. I marked my little buttonholes here. I was hoping, because these buttons, oh yeah, that's gonna work. It's gonna be so cute. Oh my goodness, look at that. I did get a couple of random colors. I got mostly purple, just in case I wanted to do all purple, because there are some like pretty little hints of purple in this yarn. I did purchase a little green one, the purple one up close to where you can see it a little better. And then I got an orange one, just in case I wanted to throw a couple of random buttons in there. I only got one of those, but I thought they were so cute. I just loved how kind of crafty they were. I thought that that was really cute. So I'm excited to put the buttons on there, and very excited to start the felting. I still haven't decided exactly what I want to do for the felting. I have a few ideas in mind. Oh my goodness, y'all, the traffic. I have a few ideas in mind, and honestly, flowers might really be fun just because there's flowers here. I still have to weave in the ends here, but as far as the cardigan goes, let's see. Let's try this on. So here's the cardigan, and it is really cute. Normally I would make the sleeves longer, but I was really afraid that I was gonna run out of yarn, and I'm hoping once I block this thing that the sleeves will get a little bit longer. I'll do it like this, you guys can see it. See, the sleeves are like right at my wrist, which is totally fine. It's just normally I like a longer sleeve, but honestly, a lot of times with a cardigan, I'll like end up doing this anyways, and so I'll just have my sleeve up a little bit. So I think that it will work just fine. And I do think with blocking, it'll get a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure my measurements are almost identical to the pattern. Oh my goodness, you guys, these fuzzes everywhere. Whenever I share all of the finished details of this sweater, I'll be sure to put my measurements and the pattern measurements. And I'm making an entire project vlog on this cardigan. I've kind of filmed along the way, and now I just have to film the felting part. So I'm very excited about this one. So at least I did have the buttons to share with you guys. I have 3 new whips. One is a Musselburgh. This is the one I was telling you guys about earlier when I shared my finished Musselburghs. But this is as far as I've gotten, and I am using Bad Sheep yarn in the colorway Sockeye Salmon. This is fingering weight yarn. I originally was going to make socks out of it, but then I decided I think I want to make another Musselburgh. It's so hard because obviously I love making socks and I love making beanies, and it's just depending on what I'm feeling like making at the moment. But I'm just so into having one of these Musselburghs on my needles. I mean, having socks on your needles at all times too is a great thing because you can just pick them up. I mean, if the stitch pattern isn't too difficult. This is kind of the random color pooling that I was hoping for in the other beanie. It is so pretty. So this pattern is by Isolde Teague, I believe is how you say it. I could be saying it wrong. I'm sorry if I am. I did make an adult medium in this Musselburgh as well. The crown always takes longer than any other part of it, and so right after I made the baby Musselburgh, I decided to go ahead and do the crown on this one so it was fresh on my mind. I had to refresh my memory on doing the disappearing loop cast on, and I actually made a short about using a crochet hook for this particular technique, and it really helps me. It was suggested in another video that I had watched, and honestly that is the easiest way to do it for me. So that is how I started the beanie, so that you can close the crown of the beanie. But I really love the way that this one is looking, and I'm excited to finish it. I did a whole video about my fall planning, fall and winter project planning. It's my previous video, and this was on there as a project that I wanted to get done for this fall and winter. So I'm excited to have already made some progress on it. I did update all of my projects in Ravelry. I had 7 in my queue from last fall, and so I decided to update that and take all those, well, not all of them out. I think I still have 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them in there. But then I added in some new ones so that everything was up to date. And then I also added some projects that I have finished to my finished projects on there. But I'm really looking forward to having this one as well. Really love this colorway. My daughter was like, I really love that too. And so I may have to make her one also in this colorway. I would like a pair of socks in it too, so we'll see. This is the first skein I purchased at Changing Tides, which is the yarn store that I was telling you about where I got the buttons. And all of their Bad Sheep yarn was on sale. And so I was trying to not buy too much, but I did purchase 1 skein of this. So I was excited to be able to make this beanie. And you guys did vote for a beanie as well in the community feed, so that's kind of fun. So 3 of these whips that I have are projects that I mentioned in my fall planning video, and I haven't gotten super far on this next one, really just a teeny bit done on it. But I am making the Peek-a-Pow Rosemary Olivia mouse. This is in book 3. There's so many cute ones and so many on my list that I want to make. I let my daughter choose. Here she is down here. I think I looked through and chose a few that I liked and then let her pick a favorite. Y'all, this hedgehog, that was definitely on the top of the list too, and I want to make that very soon. It is so cute. But there are just so many cute ones as usual. I actually am going to be making this whale too. If you caught, I think it was my last maybe it was my last podcast, I made a little baby cardigan for our realtor, and I did finally give that to her because we did just see her, but I found out that she's having another baby, and so I thought that it would be really fun to make her this whale since we live here in Alaska and there are whales here. So I just have to figure out what yarn I want to purchase with it. When I was looking to purchase yarn, I was going to get Drops Baby Merino. That's when I went to look for replacement yarn for my cardigan. But like I mentioned, I was having trouble ordering any yarn. I was just going to order the Drops Baby Merino instead of getting this yarn because it was out of stock, but I just couldn't even purchase that. So I'm going to email customer service and see about that. I did also think for this whale, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I did also think about using the Peek-a-Pow yarn for this, the yarn that she has made with Hobie. So we'll see. I'm not sure. If I can't purchase the Drops Baby Merino, which I do love Drops Baby Merino and have used it several times, if I can't use that, then I may use the Peek-a-Pow yarn for Hobie. Back to Olivia Rosemary Mouse. I have started, but all I've done are the little cheeks. Put the little cheeks in a baggie because I didn't want them to get lost or get damaged or anything like that. So I had those somewhere, but I'm not sure where they are. I'll put a little clip of them in here because that's all I've gotten done are the cheeks. I do plan on doing some more crocheting on that today, but I do want to do a project vlog for that as well. So that's the thing, is that it always kind of takes longer because you have to plan out everything if you're going to do a video for it. But I am using a new yarn for this mouse, which I'm very excited about. I'm using Wool of the Andes for this little mouse, and I'm very excited to try a new yarn. So far so good. I mean, I haven't really done a whole lot. Like I said, I've only done the cheeks, so I mean, they're fine. But I haven't done much else. I think I'm going to be using Camel Heather for the main part of the mouse. So it's a nice brown color, and then I've got this one that is very close as well. But I shared all of this yarn haul in my most recent video, so I don't think I'll go through everything in this video. If you want to check out that video, it'll tell you all about these yarns that I purchased from Crochet.com. I think I tried 3 new yarns. I will tell you about the other 2 in the new things portion. But yeah, I was excited to try a new yarn and I wanted to make it wool. I thought that that would be really cute. So I decided to go with that. This pattern is so cute because she's got like a little cape and a dress and bloomers. So y'all, I just think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm making it for my niece who is not born yet. She will be born soon, but she does have a little sister she will be a little sister. She has an older sister, so it might be a fun little thing for her as well. My goodness, you guys, just look at that. She is so cute. Those ears, oh my goodness. I just love, love, love. And I'm very excited to make some little clothes. So that is technically a whip, but I haven't gotten very far on that. So, but that's okay because these are all fall projects, fall and winter projects. I feel like I'm at a good place with projects that I've got several going, but I know where I'm at with all of them and I pick them all up at different times. I also mentioned this in my fall video. It is a surprise for my daughter. She is actually not here, so I can tell you about it. Unfortunately, she does know a surprise is coming now. I knew it was going to be difficult to keep it a surprise the whole time because I am with her all the time. I homeschool her and she sees me knitting all the time, and she also watches my YouTube videos, and she was determined to watch my YouTube videos one day and I was like, no, let's watch something else. And she was like, no, I want to watch your videos. And so I just ended up having to tell her. She's like, I haven't even watched your new video yet. And so I just had to tell her that there was a surprise for her there. I'm really bummed, but at least she doesn't know what it is. I don't think she would have any idea. I think she'd think more that I was making her like one of these characters instead of a sweater. But I'm making the Horse's Head sweater by Linda Morehouse. It is also a pattern on Ravelry and actually comes in an ebook. And so it's got a few patterns, I think 3 or 4 patterns in the ebook, and the ebook is like $4.50. It's crazy. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just make a sweater and a vest for my daughter. So I've started the sweater. I started on the back portion of it just to kind of get going and get quite a bit done, because of course the front part will be the part that takes a little bit longer because it has the color work on it. This is just the back. This is how far I've gotten so far. One difference is I'm using a different weight yarn for this sweater. I'm hoping that with the different weight yarn and then the size that I chose specifically, it will be the perfect size. So my daughter basically wears the same size I do. First, when I purchased the pattern, it only went up to a 32-inch chest because it's mainly a kid's pattern, but then I did notice that it does go up to 38. But y'all, this is so funny. When I was casting on the stitches, I got up to do something while I was in the middle of casting on stitches. Don't ask me why. I know that was ridiculous, but I did. And so when I got back to it, I thought I had finished casting on and I did not even count, y'all. I just started. It's so ridiculous, but I just got started and I was like, oh my goodness, did I even put enough stitches on here? Thankfully, I did put an even amount of stitches on there for the rib here, but I did not end up doing the 38-inch chest stitch count. I did the 36-inch. So I'm just glad that I did, instead of just a random number of stitches, I actually had the same amount as the 36-inch chest, and y'all, I just didn't want to redo it. So I was like, this looks big enough. We'll see. Hopefully it is. I mean, it's okay if it's oversized. I just don't want it to be too small. So that is my funny story, y'all. Let my mistake be a lesson and pay attention to what you're doing. Don't get up in the middle of it. And it's so funny because like I just totally forgot and I didn't even count. I mean, y'all, that's just crazy. But I'm hoping that it'll work out. I think it'll work. And it looks like a good size for just the back panel. It looks like a small. An adult small is what I'm hoping for. This is also a new yarn that I have not tried before, which is Swish. I guess I will just go over these as I go over the projects. This is the new yarn that I'm using, or new to me yarn, but I've heard really good things about it and so far I really like it. It's really soft and really squishy. The pattern calls for a DK weight yarn, and so Swish is a worsted, so it's going to be bigger for that reason, and I'm also using bigger needles, of course, so we'll see how it all turns out in the end. I think it looks really nice. This is as far as I've gotten. I do have a couple more inches before I start the next part of the pattern, but this has just been nice because it has been, you know, just easy stockinette stitch. I am curious if I make this again. I thought it might be fun if I make this for her, and you know, I really like it. I thought it might be fun to make one for myself also, but kind of use like all bright colors. So it would be kind of a funky horse. So I did get pretty traditional colors for the horse. These are pretty close to what they have in the pattern picture. I also thought they would look nice with this purple. Yeah. I don't know if you can really tell. I'll lay them out and put a clip in here of that, but I think they'll look nice with it. Like, I think it will be a nice contrast on the front of the sweater. I was very excited to try this yarn, and I was also excited once I got it and felt it, and it's very soft, and my daughter is a little bit picky about yarn being soft and not scratchy, so I think this is going to be really great. I don't think that this is going to be scratchy at all for her, so I hope she's excited. I am making that sweater and then also the vest. So like I mentioned, there were several patterns in the ebook, which I didn't realize it was an ebook at first, but then there's a little vest that has another little color work section, and it has little horses on it, little jumping horses, and so I thought this color would be perfect for that because purple is her favorite color. I'm hoping that she likes this light purple too. I just thought that that would look better with all of these colors than like a darker purple because I felt like the contrast would be better. But for this one, I think if I have extra of the Haze Heather, which is this is called Poet, this purple, and then this light purple is called Haze Heather. If I have enough of this left over, I will do that as the contrast, I think. Unless there's another one that I might like more, but I think I'll probably go with that, most likely. So I'm excited to do that too. I'm hoping I can get both of them done by her birthday, which is at the end of October, so we will see. But I'm gonna have to really stay focused on knitting that and making sure that she doesn't see it. So I think that's all the whips that I have to share with you guys, and I don't have a whole lot else that's new. Now, like I mentioned, all of the new yarn that I have, if you want greater detail about that yarn, you can watch the previous video. I also have a short where I share the whole yarn haul and what yarns I got. So if you are interested in seeing those yarns, then you can check that out. I'll be sure to link it down below. The only other yarn that I didn't share with you guys today, I got in that same order, and I plan on using it, I think, for the halibut sweater. So this is in my plans for fall and winter, but I haven't purchased the other part of it yet. This is just the swatch that I made, y'all. Just, I mean, ignore this whole thing. I learned a new technique for doing a gauge swatch in the round, and the one that she does in the video doesn't have this much on the side, but I kept running out of yarn when I was doing it, and so I just decided to really overcompensate here and have a ton of stitches on the back. But it works really well, and that way I don't think I have to waste any of the yarn, because I hate wasting yarn that you have to cut for an in the round gauge swatch. So this is my halibut sweater gauge swatch. I do really like this color combination, but I also think I'm going to add in another color. I haven't decided yet what color it's going to be specifically, and I have not purchased any more of this. This is the Barocco Ultra Alpaca. This is the color Blue Spruce, and this is the color Grove. It's just like an orange color. But I really liked these two together. I really wanted a forest green sweater. That's kind of been on my list of things that I want to do. I had this forest green sweatshirt that I used to wear all the time. I literally wore it until it had so many holes in it, I had to get rid of it. I was like, I should make a sweater that's forest green because I just really like that color. It's funny too, because it's not really a color that I'm like, oh wow, forest green, I love forest green. I mean, I like it, but after having that one, I wore it all the time, and so I really wanted a forest green for this sweater. So that is something that I'm going to make. I've just done this little gauge swatch, and my gauge is a little bit different than the pattern, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm going to do with needle size in regards to that. This yarn is super soft, and I really like it too. It has a really pretty little halo, and I do like the color variation. Each of the colors has, I don't know if you can see, I'll try to get a better clip of it to where you can really see kind of the color variation, like the light and dark. I think it's really pretty, and that just adds another dimension, and I think even more visual interest. So that, along with the other yarns that I got in that box, are the new things that I got. This is also my fall planning video, but I did purchase a pattern, the Nebula sweater by Andrea Mowry. This is also something I'd love to get done for fall and winter, and I've got some yarn. I talk all about that in my fall and winter planning video too, but I'm really excited to kind of play around with that. That's really the only other new thing that I've purchased. I have had all these fun yarns and things to work with, especially with the knit along, and then with these new yarns for my daughter. So it's just been really fun to be able to try out some new yarns. It's really great if you want to try a new yarn, but you don't necessarily want to get it for a project for yourself. It's really great to use it for a gift project. So I think that's all I have to share with you guys today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.